The storms have moved through, but we're seeing some of the damage this morning. Let's start with the wicked winds that toppled some pretty big trees west of the cities. This is in New London and Candy, Ojai County. Thanks to Austin Fox for sending in these pictures.
And then let's take you about 40 minutes away. This is in the town of Litchfield. You can see large hail hitting some people there pretty hard. Thank you to Lisa Bonds for sending in this video. The radar estimates the hail reached golf ball size in several of these storms. In the cities, police taped off an area near Roseville. This is near Fairview Avenue because of flash flooding. Police told WCCO 3 cars were stranded. They had to be towed, and one person had to be rescued by firefighters. The good news, that road has since reopened for drivers. And look at this shot here. This is in Fridley. This is a Target. Wow. Yeah, water just pouring off of the roof there. We learned that the power went out. Their coolers did as well, but thankfully for Target, the registers did not go, but certainly plenty of water damage over there in Fridley, too. Let's check in with Joseph this morning because you're seeing a lot of storm reports here, and we're not in the clear.
No, we're not in the clear yet. I mean, we still have this active pattern over the top of us. But yesterday, north, south, right over the metro area, definitely out west. Many of those reports that you sent on in from across the state, we had everything yesterday, all right? Amongst just intense, aggressive-looking storms, we had the hail, we had damaging wind, we had flooding that we just saw. We have video coming out of Fridley. In fact, I want to zoom on in, and we had multiple flood reports in the northeast up towards Roseville. Near Fridley, we had hail reports towards Golden Valley and Plymouth. You may be one of those locations that had to deal with some storm damage, and you'll have the day to kind of clean up. And I'm sorry for that, but we have another round of some storms a little bit later tonight as well that I wanted to discuss. Now, this morning, storms have peeled off to the east. There's still a little bit of cloud coverage, but that's also going to clear out. It's going to be a dry day today, and it's going to be a hot day. In fact, let me show you on the forecast models. As I get us to lunchtime, I have 83 degrees in the cities. There's nothing going on. In fact, the temperatures are only going to warm up as we go into the afternoon, pushing probably close to about 90 degrees. 6:30, we start seeing some signs of storms, but it's still pretty quiet at that point of time. But by tonight, probably after sunset, I'm thinking 10, 11 to midnight, there's a chance for some severe weather. And I'm going to go with the next possible alert for now. Definitely high confidence that we might just have to go with a next weather alert later today, and we'll keep it covered as part of our next weather promise. In fact, I'll break down the second part of the day, and then we'll talk about the rest of the week because there is some tame weather in the forecast. We'll do that coming up.
All right, Joseph, thank you. We do want to continue our team coverage this morning. Let's check in now with Barrett Leone. You're live in Golden Valley, where there's not a lot of power where you are.
Yeah, still no street lights behind me. We've been seeing that all morning, but we're making some improvement on the power front. At last check, a couple hundred people restored their power, but still more than 38,000 people across the state without power at this time. That means no lights, but also no air conditioning, no way to plug in a fan and get some relief from the heat that we're expecting today. And crews say it's going to be a struggle to restore that power. Some areas won't have power restored for 2 days until Wednesday. So let's take a look at this power outage map here. This is from Xcel Energy Center. You can see outages all across the metro and beyond. St. Louis Park, Edina, Lakeville, Inver Grove Heights, Crystal, Robbinsdale. According to this power outage map, they won't have their power back until Wednesday. So some questions from customers online. So Xcel Energy posted in response to these concerned customers saying, quote, workers are in the field and navigating challenging conditions to safely restore power as quickly as possible. We sincerely apologize for the frustrations the outages have caused. So some of those challenging conditions, as we just heard from Joseph, it's going to be really hot today, really humid. It might be dry today, but you know, tonight more another chance for severe storms here. So that might set them back from the work they've already restored. So a little unpredictable, and crews are working as fast as they can. We did see some out here this morning. We have not seen really storm damage out here in Golden Valley, but we know that there are other places with storm damage. So we're hoping to check some of that out later this morning and bring that to you live.
Yeah, it could be a rough day for a lot of people out there today. Barrett, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's also update you on your next drive. Coming up on 6:05 on this Monday morning, I want to take you down to Owatonna. So this is going to be on Highway 14. The eastbound lanes, they are closed right now. This is between 35 and US 218. There is a serious crash down there. You can see that they are rerouting traffic. So again, this is down in Owatonna on Highway 14. That is eastbound. Now, as far as the metro is is concerned, it is in the green, which is exactly what you want to see. That's good news for anyone who's making their way someplace in throughout the metro this morning. Now, I do have one other thing I do want to tell you about. That's going to be on 394 at Penn Avenue. It is closed. It is official. Down a lane this morning. The Easy Pass lanes, they're closed in both directions. This is between downtown Minneapolis and Highway 100 in Golden Valley, and it is expected to last through November. This is both directions. So for friends, if you're coming in from Minnetonka or if you're leaving Minneapolis, this is going to impact you both east and westbound.
Happening today, the man who pleaded guilty to driving drunk into a Metro restaurant is scheduled to be sentenced. Police say 56-year-old Stephen Bailey plowed through the Park Tavern patio in St. Louis Park. This was last September. Restaurant employee and mother of three, Christina Folkerts, and Methodist hospital worker Gabe Harvey died in that crash. More than a dozen other people were also hurt. Now, charges show that Bailey was intoxicated at 4 times over the legal limit. He's set to be sentenced this afternoon at 1. He faces up to 30 years in prison.
Safety at the state capitol again in the spotlight after a security breach over the weekend. State Patrol says they found a naked man inside the Minnesota Senate chamber just before midnight Friday. He went to Regions for a mental health evaluation. He returned twice on Saturday before being arrested. He's currently in the Ramsey County Jail. House Speaker Lisa Damuth released a statement after the incident saying in part, quote, anyone who trespasses in any building, let alone the state capitol, should be arrested and prosecuted for breaking the law. And I look forward to learning why this did not take place in this highly disturbing incident.
Meanwhile, a man in Minneapolis, he was arrested for having a stolen government license plate. Minneapolis police say that they're patrolling along Lyndale Avenue when they got the alert of a stolen plate. They say they stopped the driver, asked if he worked for the government. He responded by telling them that he was, quote, on a secret mission. According to authorities, they decided to verify that statement. He was then taken into custody when they found out he was not a government worker. So 2 recent campaign upsets, one of them here in Minneapolis, the other in New York City. They are now raising questions about the future of the Democratic Party.
Let's start in Minnesota because Minnesota State Senator and Democratic Socialist Omar Fateh defeated 2-term incumbent Mayor Jacob Fry for the Minneapolis DFL party endorsement. This, again, the race for Minneapolis mayor. And then on the other side of your screen, New York City, Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdi beat former Governor Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary for mayor. So you may be wondering, what exactly is a Democratic Socialist? Our Esme Murphy invited Professor David Schultz to join her on WCCO Weekend Mornings to explain.
The simplest way of describing it, they have significant criticisms of capitalism or believe that capitalism isn't working for the majority of the people and would like to come up with a different economic system.
So Professor Schultz says that the Democratic Party is seeing a shift, this especially among generational lines. He says that the party has been losing popularity in recent years, and that's partially because the younger generation has a growing favorable view of socialism with a more negative opinion of capitalism. This is opposed to older generations. Now, Schultz, he attributes that to affordability issues like rising housing and medical costs, as well as student loans.
For those people who are the baby boom generation, the system worked fairly well and delivered the goods. But if you look at polling right now for people under the age of 30, 35, about half of them are saying, well, they have a favorable view of socialism because why? They're looking at capitalism not delivering for them.
Now, Mayor Jacob Fry did file a protest with the state DFL party, citing voting discrepancies. He has been elected mayor twice before without the Minneapolis DFL endorsement.